This is the garden of faith. What are you growing? Welcome to the garden of faith. Let's talk about some other thing in this precious subject of faith. Well, faith must work over the knowledge of our call, of our vision, and to be specific about what we exactly want. For example, our faith must be according to what we want in a specific way. So there is no reason to use our faith in a lower measure. For example, using our faith just for something we are needing. It's not for something just we are needing or for something just it's about to solve, merely solve our needs. The precise, the perfect use of faith, but use your faith for something great, for something big, beautiful, for that real thing you are wanting, you are needing, you want of God. Do you want the cake? How do you want the cake? Or you just want some little bread? Use your faith for the cake, and for the cake in the way you want the cake. Faith is something very powerful and is intended to be used for great things, not for standard, normal things. I urge you to use your faith for big things in your life according to your vision, to your call. We have some example of this faith in the Bible, in the chapter 2 of the Gospel of John. Here we find this miracle while some party of marriage we find here some steps of faith. I have not checked the chapter, but see, I already saw those beautiful things of this chapter. So chapter 2 of the book of John. Let's see. Verse 3 says, "And when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus said unto him, They have no wine. Jesus said unto her, Woman, what have I to do with thee? Mine hour is not yet come." His mother, that is where faith begin to operate in this chapter. And pay attention to all the process of this miracle. Not only one person, not only the faith of one person, the faith of many people were there. Verse 5, his mother said unto the servants, Whatsoever he said unto you, do it. That's the first step here. The mother of Jesus said to the servants, in faith, having faith in Jesus, whatsoever he said unto you, do it. Jesus just said, no, I don't want to make a miracle here. It is not necessary. I don't see the need here. But his mother immediately, despite the answer of Jesus, his mother said in faith to the servants, whatsoever he said unto you, do it. And there were set there 6 water spots of stone, after the manner of the purifying of the Jews, containing 2 or 3 firskins apiece, kind of 120 liters per water pot, 6 of them there. And there were set there 6 water spots of stone. Jesus said unto them, second step of faith, second person with faith here. He didn't know what is about to happen here. Jesus, as a mere man, he exercising his faith, declaring, speaking in faith, he said to the servants, fill the water pots with water. I don't know what will happen here, but I have some faith, and I'm talking in faith. Fill the water pots with water. And they filled them up to the brim. Dear people, having faith, here, the servants. The servants not only put some little water there, not only the 120 liters of water, per water pot, no, to the very brim of the water pot, every single one of the 6 water pots there. That's faith. Well, they believe it. in a miracle there. Well, but we don't only want 120 liters of good wine here. We want to the brim. That's faith. That's the kind of faith you need in your life to get what you want, to get out of God of what is the wish of Him to give you, to get out of Him your dreams. And He said unto them, Jesus, again, the second person of these three until this point, Jesus said, He said unto them, draw out now and bear unto the governor of the feast. That's faith. That was just water. But Jesus, again, speaking in faith, you learn how faith works. He spake in faith to that just water there, and sending him to the governor of the feast, but having faith in his heart. He was believing that real water was good wine, but that there in that moment, what those servants were carrying there were only water. Draw now and bear unto the governor of the feast, and they bear it. Faith again of the third person of the servants again. They bear it. They didn't ask. You learn all the steps of faith. Don't ask. Believe. And they bear it. The servants bear only water, because that's only real water. Real water is what they have there. Real water. What is your real water out there? Well, change it into wine. Here is the way how to change it into wine. And they bear it. Servants being exposed to some hard rebuke of the governor of the feast. Can you imagine what that governor is about to say of that water? Because that's real water. Those servants are about to be fired, and maybe more, because if you want good wine, expecting good wine, and what you will get is simple water, somebody is about to get very angry here. But the servants, in faith, they bear it. They believe the word of Jesus, the Bible, and walk in faith in that word. As Jesus walked in his own word when walked on water over the Sea of Galilee. As I told you last time, here in the garden of faith, what are you growing? What are you growing? When the ruler of the feast had tasted the water that was made wine, suddenly we have wine here. But the servants were carrying water. They don't give another look. They don't give another look. They don't give another look to that thing. They take out the water, draw out the water, and just carry it in faith. That's faith. That's faith. Learn. This is the garden of faith. We agree here with you according to the Bible, which is the Word of God, which is the will of God for your needs, for your healing. Which one is the will of God for you? Good will, good things, good health. When the ruler of the feast had tasted the water that was made wine, and knew not whence it was. Thanks God for that. But the servants withdrew the water new. But the servants withdrew the water new. That thing was only water. But they were burning at that moment in faith. They were thinking, they were speaking, God, Jesus, send us to give this water to the governor of the feast. So we believe he will not shame us. That's faith. Learn of it. Work the same miracles in Jesus' name. Even for others. It only depends of your faith. It only depends of faith. But the servants withdrew the water new. The governor of the feast called it the bridegroom. You know, you can see those servants there turning from red to white, pale white, in a second. He called it the bridegroom. But no in the innermost being of them. They were burning and believing in a crazy way. Oh, good news are ahead. Thank you, God, because good news are ahead for you. If you believe it. Don't believe it? No good news, because you don't believe. But you believe it? Good news. Very good news you are about to receive in the name of Jesus as a blessing of God. The only one able to bless us. God. And said unto him, every man at the beginning doth set for good wine. Here it comes. Every man at the beginning doth set for good wine. Is the governor saying to the bridegroom. And when men have well drunk, you know, there is a party ongoing. Well, those handling the thing good, right, where maybe talk just a little with the meat. But some other man, they ask the servants for hey, bring us some jars, man. You know, but they were already very well drunk. Then that which is worse, the worse wine then. But thou hast kept the good wine until now. God will be always giving a good ending to your faith, to your steps of faith. The bigger the better. The bigger the better. Well, here we find the faith of three kind of people here for the same. I urge you to have faith for good, great things for your life, for others. Don't go only for the little bread. Go for the beautiful cake in the way you want it, in the way you can believe it. This is the garden of faith. What are you growing